Right now, temperatures are sitting here. Cold like your breath freezes before you even finish talking. That kind of cold. I'll tell you when it warms up and what that means for your weekend.
Live from Chicago, this is Fox 32 News at 9.
And so glad you're here. I'm Terrence Lee. Mark Strell's got your first forecast. Mark, how cold did we get today, and are we dropping any more tonight?
We are at the precipice of a ski hill going down deep again overnight tonight. In fact, look at these numbers right now. We are at 9 degrees below zero at O'Hare, 13 degrees below zero at Woodstock, and minus 10 out through the Fox Valley. Wind chills on top of that, nearly 30 degrees below zero. One more cold night, that's tonight. We are under a cold weather advisory until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And finally, temperatures get back above zero. I'll tell you more about that in a moment.
All right, Mark, and people die in cold like this. It happened Monday. An older woman in Evergreen Park died in her home. Leslie Moreno talked to her neighbors, and they have a message for you.
Neighbors say they wish they had noticed sooner.
She was just like a high and go type of lady. We saw her in passing, coming in and out of the home.
Officials say 81-year-old Mary Savitsky was found dead inside her home in the 9600 block of South Francisco Avenue in Evergreen Park on Monday. The Cook County medical examiner ruled her death an accident caused by cold exposure, with heart disease also cited as a contributing factor. Neighbors say they often checked on her.
We see her car every single day. We noticed that it hadn't moved for quite a while. One of our neighbors also shovels for her, had noticed that there weren't any footsteps or footprints rather to her car.
When they noticed her day-to-day was off, they called police.
They were unable to find her in her home and located her in her garage.
Neighbors say she had a medical emergency near the garage and collapsed. It's unclear how long she was outside in the bitter cold. Her death occurred during a cold weather advisory that was in effect that day. Her death marks the 10th cold-related death in Cook County this winter.
Elderly individuals just have a lot less reserve.
Doctors say seniors lose body heat much faster. In this weather, hypothermia can set in for them in just 10 minutes.
If somebody has underlying lung issues or heart issues, cold weather can actually exacerbate those things. So if you're going to be going out and you have those underlying conditions, it's important to make it be as brief as possible.
Neighbors say this tragedy is a stark reminder to look out for one another.
Check on your family members, be familiar with your neighbors, kind of check in on one another. You pay attention to those small details.
A reminder that warming centers and shelters are open across the city. You can also call 311 to request a welfare check. All those details on fox32chicago.com. In Evergreen Park, Les Moreno, Fox Chicago.
Here's something else you'll also find on our website. We talk to doctors who say when it gets cold, people keep making the same mistakes that land them in the ER. You can find the full list on fox32chicago.com. Well, the cold certainly made things tough in Joliet. Firefighters put out a fire at Dirksen Middle School. They had to call in extra crews because a bunch of fire hydrants were frozen. Fire started in a classroom and spread onto the roof. One firefighter got frostbite from the cold. Medics treated him. They're still investigating what caused the fire. A big winter storm is hitting a lot of places right now. We're talking tens of millions of people across 24 states, our state included. David Spunt has what the government is doing to help.
I look for the fastest flight out and just try and get ahead of the storm.
From the air,
weather can be unpredictable.
To the ground, this weekend is shaping up to be a headache for tens of millions in the storm's path.
That will lead to whatever slush that melted over the course of the previous day to turn into ice that night. And that's obviously incredibly problematic for traveling.
The weather expected to dump around a foot of snow in the nation's capital.
Cold weather like this mixed with precipitation puts people in a lot of danger.
The federal government also coordinating closely with states.
The big thing is, stay home, have supplies, and be ready.
Officials in Georgia preparing for significant amounts of ice, but help may not be instant.
We want to make sure
Everyone is being safe. If there are trees down along a road, if it's incredibly icy, we may not be able to go out.
The storm expected to affect millions all the way from Maine south to Texas.
With it being a sustained event, that doesn't mean that there might not be hazardous travel conditions throughout the duration of the storm.
Grocery store shelves in Tennessee emptying and quickly. And people are fueling up with propane in South Carolina.
It's going to be the Black Friday of storm prep.
Yeah.
Over the course of the past 2 days, I think I've answered at least 350 phone calls about generators, propane, ice melt, gas cans.
Nearly 20 governors have declared a state of emergency, and that number could increase depending on the conditions. At Reagan National Airport, David Spunt, Fox News.
Some labor unions went to state lawmakers here and said, look, we need rules to keep outdoor workers safe when it gets dangerously cold. The bill they want is called the Workplace Extreme Temperature Safety Act. It would make companies create plans to protect workers when the weather gets brutal, freezing cold or scorching heat. We're talking warmer centers when it's too cold to be outside, and actual temperature limits that would keep people indoors when it gets too hot.
I think it's 32 degrees, kicks in one set of standards, and if it reaches 10 degrees, it sets another standard. So right now, that bottom threshold will definitely be met, and I think there's another one if it reaches like 80 or 90 degrees.
Companies that don't follow the rules would get fined, and workers couldn't get punished for saying no when conditions get too dangerous. Take a look. So these three right here, Cook County Sheriff's deputies say they robbed Lululemon in the West Loop. Detectives found two of them, they say, in a dumpster just hiding in there. And the third person was close by. Jada Seals, Tika White, and Tayshawn Williams are all facing retail theft charges now. According to the sheriff's office, they walked out with all of this. That's almost $4,000 worth of stuff from that location on North Sangamon and West Randolph. There's a new space on the south side that's giving people a real shot at something better. They've been working on this for months. Casey Cronus went to Chatham to see what it's all about.
The Collaboratory Training Institute is now officially open. It aims to empower the community to pursue career opportunities, explore creativity, and stay up to speed on digital skills.
Welcome to the Collaboratory. The real work begins now.
Designed to inspire, teach, and support community members, the Collaboratory in Chatham will serve as a stepping stone toward a future that's fully connected. The goal, to encourage residents to build their own wealth and attain outcomes bigger than they see for themselves. The Touch Gift Foundation has been supporting community members for years, but now will reach even more residents. The space, located on 79th and Champlain, features a digital learning lab, media suite, career closet, and even a food pantry. Programs range from AI training and career coaching to computer and literacy classes. For founder Kiona Owens and the project's partners, it's an investment for the South Side.
So what it means to me is change. We're looking to create an ecosystem of resources. So literally from people that are low literate to individuals that want to start their own business. So our goal is to provide a service to help people change the trajectory of their lives.
We're here to help. We're here to serve. They don't have to do this alone. And so when they're ready, we're available.
To learn more about enrolling in a program or booking space and equipment here, just head to our website, fox32chicago.com. In Chatham, Casey Cronus, Fox Chicago.
Coming up, something to do inside this weekend and the full forecast to show you why you need something to do inside. Come on back. Let's take a live look outside. It looks beautiful out there. It does not feel like that. The cold clearly did not clock out after sunset.
Nope.
Like most of us did. We need a break soon, though, Mark Joe.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're kind of stuck in this pattern for the next week at the very least. We've got temperatures that are going to be well below normal, but I guess if there's good news, at least we're getting above zero.
Hey, I'll take it. We'll take it.
We'll take small victories in little steps. Here's what's going on right now. Nothing victorious about these numbers. We're at -9 this hour. Winds out of the north-northwest at 11. So 11 miles per hour, not what you'd really call a big, huge wind. But when it's -9 and you have an 11 mile per hour wind, it makes it feel more like 28 degrees below zero. That's where we're at right now. Your satellite and radar shows snow on the other side of the lake. For us, we have fair skies, but those skies are going to continue to cloud over as we go through the rest of the evening. Temperatures right now, -8 at the lake, -9 at the big airport. It's 11 below zero at Waukegan and 13 degrees below zero right now in Woodstock. That's the actual air temperature. The wind chills put us to 26 degrees below zero from the Fox River Valley out to DeKalb, 27 below right now. Woodstock, it's 20 degrees below zero at Morris and 26 degrees below zero here in the city on the southwest side at Midway Airport. A couple of things going on. First of all, we've got snow coming down the lake. This hour, it's more focused on western Michigan. What we will see over the next 24 to 36 hours, that snow coming down the lake and kind of bending a little bit more towards Chicago, that lake effect snow. And it is going to meet up with this snowfall that is out to our west. This is that large storm system you've been hearing about over the last couple of days, primarily targeting the mid-south with heavy snowfall, a foot of snow across Kentucky, and some heavy ice, which is really going to cause problems for trees, power lines, and really infrastructure. It's going to be a problem across much of the South. We stay cold all the way through the 3-day forecast, all the way through the 7-day forecast. It's not till we get past the 7-day forecast we even get back to normal. High pressure slides in with the cold air. Here comes the lake effect snow down the lake, and look how it all merges together with that snowfall. We're on the northern fringe of this storm system, but enough where I think we'll see moderately heavy snowfall from the Kankakee River Valley on south, and that snow that comes in from the lake merging with the snow that is primarily to our south becomes a little bit of a wild card. I think we'll see enough to shovel here in Chicago coming up, especially on Sunday. Below zero tonight, above zero tomorrow, above zero largely for the rest of the week, even for the overnight low temperatures, although marginally so. Not till we get to Friday do we get to 21, not till we get to the 8th and 9th day of the 7-day forecast do we get back close to 30 degrees. We stay cold all week long and even a little beyond.
All right, just keep looping. I'm a survivor. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to stop.
Yes.
In my head.
I like it.
Shout. Thank you, Mark. All right, since we're stuck inside anyway, here's some new music to keep you company. Harry Styles has dropped a new single. This is Aperture. This is off his new album, Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally, that comes out March 6th. This song, by the way, already hit #1 on Apple Music here in the U.S. Oh, another One Direction guy just put something out too. That's Louis Tomlinson there, dropped the album today. How Did I Get Here? 12 pop tracks, way brighter than his last one. The song you just heard is called Imposter.
I just want a great performance on my emphasis. I wanna let you don't be scared,
All right, that one got my hips moving. And Fred again, the DJ, put out a track with Young Thug. It's called Scared. Well, very few thought the Bears would be playing in mid-January, but they were. So can they make a second straight playoff run? This is their 2025 season in their own words.
We didn't reach what we wanted, the goals that we wanted to hit, and that's to be a championship caliber team. That'll never change. But as we've moved a couple days past that, I am proud of the progress that we've made.
We did fall short, but like I said last night, man, it's a lot of things to be proud about with this group.
We did a lot of things that people didn't think we were going to do this year. We fought to the end, and that's all I could ask for.
We have ignited a belief.
I think the city of Chicago is definitely yearning for a team like this, a season like this, and I think that's something that they can come to expect.
I see this being sustainable. I've seen what winning looks like, and I feel like we can win here in Chicago.
And knowing that, we can't be complacent. We got to keep pushing forward.
There is no building off of this. We go back to square one. We were back at the bottom again. If you feel otherwise, you're probably missing the big picture.
This league is different. It's a beast. You only get so many.
chills are not normal. We did not ask for this. These wind chills are not normal. I'll tell you when it warms up and what that means for your weekend.
Live from Chicago, this is Fox 32 News at 9.
And so glad you're here. I'm Terrence Lee. Mark Strell has got your first forecast. Mark, how cold do we get today, and are we dropping any more tonight?
We've got a little more to drop, and most of the day was spent with numbers with a minus sign in front of them. Here's where we are right now. Minus 11 this hour in Waukegan, 13 degrees below zero in McHenry County. It's minus 9 at O'Hare and minus 8 at the lakefront. That's before you factor in the winds, which make it feel more like 28 degrees below zero here in Chicago and as cold as 30 degrees below zero in the suburbs. More cold air to come. I'll tell you how long it sticks around in a moment.
And Mark, people will die in cold like this. It happened Monday. An older woman in Evergreen Park died in her home. Leslie Moreno talked to her neighbors, and they have a message for you.
Neighbors say they wish they had noticed sooner.
She was just like a high and go type of lady. We saw her in passing, coming in and out of the home.
Officials say 81-year-old Mary Savitsky was found dead inside her home in the 9600 block of South Francisco Avenue in Evergreen Park on Monday. The Cook County medical examiner ruled her death an accident caused by cold exposure, with heart disease also cited as a contributing factor. Neighbors say they often checked on her.
We see her car every single day. We noticed that it hadn't moved for quite a while. One of our neighbors also shovels for her, had noticed that there weren't any footsteps or footprints rather to her car.
When they noticed her day-to-day was off, they called police.
They were unable to find her in her home and located her in her garage.
Neighbors say she had a medical emergency near the garage and collapsed. It's unclear how long she was outside in the bitter cold. Her death occurred during a cold weather advisory that was in effect that day. Her death marks the 10th cold-related death in Cook County this winter.
Elderly individuals just have a lot less reserve.
Doctors say seniors lose body heat much faster. In this weather, hypothermia can set in for them in just 10 minutes.
If somebody has underlying lung issues or heart issues, cold weather can actually exacerbate those things. So if you're going to be going out and you have those underlying conditions, it's important to make it be as brief as possible.
Neighbors say this tragedy is a stark reminder to look out for one another.
Check on your family members, be familiar with your neighbors, kind of check in on one another. You pay attention to those small details.
A reminder that warming centers and shelters are open across the city. You can also call 311 to request a welfare check. All those details on fox32chicago.com. In Evergreen Park, Les Moreno, Fox Chicago.
We talked to doctors who say when it gets cold like this, people keep making the same mistakes that land them in the ER. You can find the full list on fox32chicago.com. Well, the cold certainly made things tough in Joliet for firefighters putting out a fire at Dirksen Middle School. They had to call an extra crews because a bunch of fire hydrants were frozen. Fire started in a classroom and spread to the roof. One firefighter got frostbite from the cold. Medics treated him. They're still investigating what caused the fire. We're hearing from even more of you in Northwest Indiana about NIPSCO. Your bills are high, and with this cold, you have to keep the heat on. Some of you say you're paying double, even triple what you paid last year. Rep. Begansky talked to lawmakers who are trying to help you out.
It's just getting harder and harder to pay every month. Terry Logan, I live in Hamlet, Indiana.
How would you describe the billing practices?
Outrageous, because you can't get an answer.
Terry went from paying about $106 in December of 2024 to almost $274 this past December. The delivery charges alone are more than $152. Is that the most you ever paid?
Yes, it is, so far. That's why it's so scary today with the furnace running, because it is so cold outside.
When you contact NIPSCO about why your bill's so high, what do they tell you?
Well, those are necessary to keep your lights and your gas going. And that is the only response I get.
Earlier this week, NIPSCO told me gas. Our viewers pointed this out. These are the delivery charges. NIPSCO told me it's the cost of transporting natural gas across the state. but it also says you pay for upgrading and maintaining its infrastructure.
I am State Representative Mike Andrade. I have the honor of representing House District 12 in the House of Representatives in the state of Indiana. I formally sent a letter to the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission urging them to review NIPSCO's billing practices, their earnings, and lack of transparency.
Do you feel like the billing practices right now are?
Absolutely.
I also reached out to the Indiana Utility. I'm still waiting to hear back. But I did find a pending case from the commission against NIPSCO, where it's looking into billing discrepancies, rates, the company's revenue, and whether or not you should get a refund. All right, you're probably asking yourself, can they do anything for you? Is there an appetite from the Republican-controlled legislature to get this done?
I know there's a bill right now, House Bill 1002, that is being moved to the legislative process. It's going to be on second readings on Monday, and that's what we're going to find out, right?
Do you feel